Team, family, squadron. This is an emergency.
Pew, pew, pew.
We're sitting down with newly crowned GOAT.
Gosh.
Industry record holder. 1.5 million in service revenue. We have an unreal leader, pioneer in the space, and record holder, new GOAT, Zach Seager, joins us on the landing pad today. We'll laugh, we'll cry, we'll be inspired. I cannot wait. But as for right now, welcome out to yet another episode of the landing pad.
Zach, I don't know if I can look you in the eyes across the table after what you've done this summer. I don't know if I'm worthy to be sitting at this table with Zach Seager.
Naughty.
Zach Seager, is it true that you sold $1.5 million worth of pest control this summer?
That's right.
That's a lot of pest control. Welcome to landing pad, Seager.
Thank you, dude.
How do you feel?
Feels good. Last time I was in the landing pad, we were in an active closet, so this feels a little bit better.
Yeah, I remember that back in that back corner. But now we're here at the Rookery. And
we were throwing blankets on top of active swag
to try to dampen
it was hodgepodge. It was hodgepodge. We've leveled up. We're at the Rookery.
We're soon to be in our building.
Dakota's taking care of us. Briggs is going to make it okay.
Great, guys.
It's going to be okay.
Zach Seager, we can't say it enough. Those that need to know, Zach Seager, first summer, 400 accounts, 239K. Next summer, 1,000 accounts, 795K. The next summer, 1,000 accounts, $1 million. And this last summer, 1,249 accounts, 1.5 million in service rev. There is not another human on planet Earth that has a resume like that. It's just not. So having a guy like Zach Seager, not even legally that works with us, but having him as a friend, I just hope everyone that's listening to this knows this guy. If you know Zach Seager, you love Zach Seager. The most humble, meek, just good
to the core.
Good guy. Seager, we want to get into it because the people, this is always the number one listen podcast because of what you've done and what you continue to do. Dude, walk us through a little bit about this last summer. What was going through your mind from $1 million, which you can count how many people have done $1 million on one hand, to now you're the only one that's ever done 1.5. To talk us through the summer a little bit, some of your hardships, some of the struggles. What did this last summer look like?
Yeah. First off, going into it, it's like I set this goal of like selling 1.5 million that had never been done before, and it's scary. Like,
yeah.
Dude, I think everybody's goals should scare them. And so I get out there. And
when did you decide to do 1.5?
I think it must have been like 2 months after being home, October, around there.
Never 1.3.
No.
Really?
Yeah. So I got home. I was like, dude, I got to beat Drew. Like, I got to beat the record. But yeah, as far as like going out there, struggles go, it really wasn't like, it wasn't my hardest summer. It wasn't. I would say it was probably my easiest summer. Because in my head, I had told myself like, dude, you've perfected this. Like, you are the guy. Like, you've put in 10,000 hours at this. Nobody's better at the craft than you. And I was telling myself this over and over and over. And I pretty much manifested it. And at this point, dude, I can go into any neighborhood, I think, and sell 20K. That's how confident I am in my selling abilities.
And 20K, for the record, is a lot of pest control. Dude, walk us through the days that you didn't sell 20K.
Yeah, no, I had a horrible day. First day in Detroit when we moved from Jersey, I sold like 4K. Calvin was following me. Jackson Heaton was like videotaping me out of a black Sprinter van in customers' driveways. Oh, dude, that was horrible.
Looked like the feds.
Roll it up.
It was so bad. People would like look at me, look at the camera crew, look back at me. What are they doing? It was sketch.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, dude, there's always bad days and there's always great days. And the greats, I think, find the happy medium of just staying right there in the middle. And they're never riding the highs and they're never riding the lows. And so I called Drew the next day. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to the morning meeting. I'm going out early. I've got to go bounce back. And the next day I did 18K and I was totally fine. And so it just took a day or so to click for me to adjust to the Detroit market. And then I was totally fine.
Seager, one thing that I think this year where I've seen the most growth, and I'm sure I speak for a lot of the leadership. I have seen you grow just as a leader of human beings. You've always been an amazing salesman and uber talented and always a great leader. But it really seems like this year, more than any other year, you've like stepped into it. You've owned it. Talk to us about like how you have viewed your development as a leader and as a manager and some of the lessons you learned leading that group out in Jersey.
Yeah, no, dude, I thought it was awesome. As far as like, it was all on me this summer. It was, dude, Zach, you've got to figure it out because Jerem's not there to hold your hand. Ben Egan's not going to fly out there and help you out this summer. Like, it's either you figure it out or Adam and Bailey that I just promised they'll golden door if they switch over, dude, they're not going to do it unless like you figure it out. And so for me, dude, I took this huge, that was for sure probably one of the like the most stressful things is running the team all on my own. But I knew like if I was doing everything I could day in and day out, then the boys would be happy with what would happen that summer.
Dude, you even said it. You promised. Dude, what do you see? What did you see in the reps? Because Jersey, you guys had a squad out there.
We had a pretty damn good squad.
Dogs. Yeah. I mean, like I'm like thinking about Casper, Adam, Bailey, Jet, Ray. Who else am I? I mean, you can name them all. I don't want you to name them because you'll forget when then somebody will feel bad. Dude, talk me through that squad. What was it like? How did you? Because you guys had 2 golden doors, Adam and Bailey.
They had a golden door, so 4 golden doors. Ethan Belknap sold $500K. Jet sold $400K. Brent Dean sold $300K. The list goes on.
Dude, walk me through that team, dude. How did you pull that belief? Because for the record, we had Adam and Bailey on earlier. Maybe their podcast dropped, maybe it hasn't. Those guys each did like $300K at their previous companies. Dude, how did you pull greatness out of so many reps on your team?
Dude, like first off, talking about the team, it's like it was really the first year where like I could totally see like my impact. Where in like years previous, I think I had the horse, what are they called? Horse blinders
on.
Yeah, the blinders. Like, dude, I was just tunnel vision, didn't care. It's like, yeah, I would say like I loved my guys and I did, but it was always me selling. Dude, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this week. I want to do this month. Whereas this summer, dude, I totally took that away. And I just told myself like, dude, I'll do anything for the team. And I kept telling myself, I put it in my, if you guys have listened to the landing pad before, like every summer I do one of those like voice clips. And I put it in there, like the very first thing was instead of my goal, dude, it was the team's goal. And so it was like, we won the Rumble, which we didn't, but the other was like, dude, I pushed myself to exhaustion every day for my boys. And so like before any of my goals on that, dude, it was the team's goals. And I think it helped me sell way better because I wasn't thinking about myself this summer. It was totally about the guys. And that's how I grew a ton. But as far as like helping Adam and Bailey, dude, I did some stuff, but it was totally on them. Like it was so awesome to see how hungry those guys were just to progress and watching them just soak in everything.
What do you think? Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, what do you think unlocked their great? Like you now, they've talked about what they think it was. You having like the bird's eye view. What do you? Whether it was you, whether it was Mike, Drew, whatever. What kind of unlocked it for them to go from 200K to 650 in your office?
Just competitors. Those guys are winners. And so, dude, when you have a guy like me or Drew or whoever, right, selling 15 to 20K every day. And you put in a guy like Adam or Bailey, who was the top guy in their office, and now they're competing, it's like they just naturally sell way better because every single day they are pissed off if they're losing to you. And so that was like what I could see. Like, dude, I remember Adam, he called me one week. He's like, dude, you outsold me by 2 times. And I did like, I think it was 87K. Adam did 42K. And he's all pissed off. I'm like, dude, you just like, you crushed this week. Like that's your PR week. Like you've never done that. He's like, I know, but you're twice as good as me. Like that's not even possible. Right. And so I think that's where like it started to click for Adam and Bailey is like, dude, they're just competing every day. They're going out there and they're like, dude, if Zach's selling 15, dude, I better go out and sell at least 10. Like I want to beat Zach is what I saw with them. Or like, dude, we would do Throwdown Thursdays and I would always do those 2 versus me.
Sick.
Every Thursday. I lost tons. They won tons. I beat them sometimes. But the best was it was like a Thursday night. I think I was at like 11K. They were at 12K, and it was like 10 o'clock at night. And I sent a selfie like into Pronto, and I was just going. And I never ended up getting a deal, but like Adam and Bailey were so like, when I got back, they're like, dude, we stayed on the doors until 10:30 because of you, because you stayed out there knocking. Whereas like at other companies, I don't see that happening.
I love it.
Yeah.
Compete. That word, I heard that word thrown around a ton at Limitless and over the GPS weekend. There really is something to be said for just competing. And I look at all of our competitions, which by name are meant to like foster competing. I just think it's not something that you can buy. It's not something that you can replicate. It's not something that you can duplicate. It's not something that you can like manufacture. It's like competitors are only going to start competing when they're put around other competitors.
Yeah.
And so I look at examples like Seager with Ethan Belknap and Adam and Bailey and all these guys who are in Jersey, Roman, and the list goes all the way down top to bottom. Like these guys were bred to compete. And so the note that I would make is, like, everyone, in my opinion, can succeed when plugged into our systems. But more specifically, like if you are listening to this and you consider yourself a competitor, I like to compete, I view myself as the best. Well, the invitation is come and compete. Like, I dare you to come and compete with Seager and Drews and the Brocks of the world. I dare you to come and compete and see yourself not get better.
Yeah. No, I was doing a recruiting meeting actually with Seager yesterday, and we're sitting down with these two kids, and they both were the top dogs at their company. And I literally, when I was looking at both of them, I was like, this is a spitting image of Adam and Bailey. Like these two guys, I was like, were you guys better? Were you guys like the two of the best in your office? Like, oh yeah, we were double everybody else in our office. And like they did fine. They made each like $100,000 in that summer. But it was so cool because what I was seeing, I was like, dude, you plug these two guys that are competitive, that are winners, that want to better themselves in with the systems that we have here with the great. You put them in Seager's office. I was seeing a year earlier, Adam and Bailey in both of them. And I think that's a lot of the talent that we're starting to, that are starting to show interest in this are the guys that, yeah, it's the guys that obviously want to get better, but it's the guys that are top 1, 2 in their office, sell 140K, 150K because they're the best and they're just left wanting more. And I feel like Seager, I think you did a really, really good job of just unlocking that within them, right? Unlocking their potential and helping them, really discover what they're capable of.
Part of it was just the culture of like the team.
Yeah.
Like we embodied this, like our group chat was the greatest door-to-door team ever. The whole summer, that was our like Pronto name the entire summer. And so part of like this self-belief just started happening, and you could totally see it from the rookies like Roman to the vets like Adam and Bailey. Dude, they all just started talking about it. Dude, we're the best. Nobody's ever going to be better than Jersey North. We're the greatest door-to-door pest control. Doesn't even matter, like door-to-door knocking company ever. And dude, the guys just started ripping because they had this self-belief and this like team camaraderie of just, dude, we are going to go out and do it bigger and better than anyone else has ever done it. And then what just started happening, dude, the guys started hating losing. Like we would do Throwdown Thursdays and there was this gross like irrigation pond, and if you lost, you had to jump in the pond, do like the flower stuff, right? And then they just got so competitive where it was almost like, it was so fun, dude. It became a sport out there. And that's why I think so many guys like feared the Jersey team, like in the Rumble, is because we were a train, dude, and we were going.
And psychos.
Yeah, we were crazy.
I love it. Seager, switching gears a little bit, one of the things that I love about the landing pad platform is I love to hear people talk about things that I know are really important to them, and their life shows that those things are really important to them. Whether that's like Cody Olive talking about just hard work, just putting your head down and grinding, or whether that's John talking about honesty, or Garth talking about people. One of those things that I feel like when I think of Seager is like so much belief. He is so on this train and like blazing this trail of affirmations and manifesting and speaking things into existence. And so I want to hear, Seager, as far as affirmations go, you've been doing these for years now, since we had you on the landing pad in the lab at North Star years and years ago. How have you seen your affirmations change? How have you seen your approach to affirmations change? How have you seen your view on manifesting like mature versus when you were probably relatively new to it 2.5 years ago?
Yeah, dude, it's been awesome, like playing around with this thing, the law of attraction, like just playing with it, dude, and getting familiar with it and starting to tinker with this and that. I would say the thing I've changed the most is just creating a way clear vision on what I want. And then I backtrack it, right? So if I want whatever on my vision board, because we were just down in Lake Powell, I just put a helicopter on the vision board, right? So if I want a helicopter, dude, now I have to backtrack in 5 years. Dude, what do I need to do in the next 5 years to have a helicopter? Well, dude, I need to do this, 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 and this, right? Dude, if you want to go out and have a big summer, let's say it's $1 million summer, dude, the goal needs to be the affirmations need to be way clear. Dude, every single month I went out and I sold over 250K. Dude, I won the Rumble with my team and I led them to victory. Like the affirmations should be so pointing you in the right direction to your goal rather than just putting it out there, dude, I'm a winner. Yeah, it's a good affirmation, but it's not going to help you a ton.
And I feel like that's what a lot of your first affirmations were like.
Totally.
Right? It was just, I'm a winner.
I'm a champion.
I'm the best.
Yeah. It's like, dude, I'm great. All the stuff. It's even funny. Like I haven't told anyone this. Me and my wife joke about it all the time. A year before I met my wife, dude, I wrote down, and I could get emotional talking about this. I wrote down every quality and what I wanted, like in a wife. Like she's outdoorsy, she's gorgeous, she's beautiful. Dude, she likes skiing. She likes to spend time with me. She's super family oriented, all the stuff. And dude, a year later, I find my wife because I'm literally writing it down. I'm looking at it all the time. And dude, it just came to fruition. So.
Yeah, that's powerful, dude. And I think what's so powerful about this, dude, if your affirmations aren't extremely specific, then you're kind of just saying stuff. And I think that'll help you. But dude, I love that. Like if you're $1 million rep, you break it down. Like I'm going to do $1 million. I do 250K. I do this per week. I do this per day. And then also, dude, if you want to grow in this industry, a lot of the affirmations can be, I love my guys. You know, like totally. I take care of my guys. Look, what you were just saying, dude, I grind day in and day out for my guys. And so much of that, dude, I think that if we were to look back at your, 4 years, dude, you cannot draw up a better script than these last 4 years. Now you're married. You got a great dog. Go Trout.
He's a homie, dude.
Good old Trouty. Sweet dog. Like, you got a house. You have a dog. You have your dream car. Your wife, you actually just bought your wife probably her dream car.
Yeah, we're closing today. It's awesome.
Stoked. Like, dude, you're gonna have over $1 million invested by the end of this year. You did $12 million in your downline with Michael Green this last summer. Dude, it's really, really tough for somebody to find a better 4 years in the door-to-door space. I don't think that one exists. To be told, and to also have never, not what's the word I'm looking for? Your values, not
never compromised, never like wavered.
100%, right? Like, dude, I don't think that there's one person out there that could ever say like Zach Seager did me dirty. On his rise to the top, Zach Seager did me dirty. No, dude, I think that you have been such a prime example for so many people and what you've done. And dude, I think that you look back at these 4 years and with the manifestations and your affirmations, dude, you've done it. Right? You've done it, which has been way, way cool.
So what are some of the things now that we've talked about the arrival fallacy in regards to happiness a bunch? And it's one of the things that I believe like most firmly in life, that humans, for whatever reason, want what we can't have, want what's hardest for people to give, and ultimately subscribe a lot of times to this idea that I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I have a wife, when I have a dog, when I sell $1 million, when I sell 1.5. I just don't believe that that's the case. Seager, what I would ask is, after you've just come off of this record-breaking summer, it seems that everything in the world is going Zach Seager's way. Like, what do the affirmations sound and look like now that you're on the other side of the summer? Like, what are we affirming now? Not so much asking for, like, what is your goal next summer, but more asking, like, what are your affirmations moving forward?
Yeah. Dude, a lot of it is just, at this point, being like grateful, like having gratitude, dude. And I think the happiest people on earth have the most like gratitude. And so, dude, when I'm praying or whatever it might be, I'm saying, dude, I'm so thankful that I've been able to do this. I'm so thankful that I was able to meet Kennedy. I'm so thankful that, dude, whatever. I live in a neighborhood where there's guys that are whatever, John Taylor, who's 3 times as rich as I am, and I get to learn from John. Right. And so the affirmations now look a little different, right? As far as the goals are different and so forth, if that makes sense.
I love it. I love it. What I would ask, switching gears a little bit.
Sorry. Dude, the biggest thing I would say is you have to just be optimistic. Like the guys, and I've seen this so much in my circle, the guys who are optimistic are way happier than guys who aren't. Right. And so if you're thinking every day, dude, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do this and I'm going to figure out a way, like, if I told Calvin Escobedo, if Calvin caved to me and he's like, dude, I'm going to do this next year. I don't know what it was. Breed 15 dogs. Dude, I know Cal would figure out a way to breed 15 dogs. I know he would. Dude, maybe there's this challenge, and this challenge, but Calvin's going to go out and figure it out. Right? Whereas like there's some people, dude, who they're like, oh yeah, maybe I could do that. And then some obstacle comes in their way and they're like, oh, this is way too hard. And they just stop. And those are not the people who are happy. The people who are happy are the guys who figure it out and they accomplish their goals. Like there's not a better feeling on earth than accomplishing something you've set out and worked so hard for the entire summer. That's why we have guys, what's the date? October
5th.
We have guys knocking still.
Yep.
They're trying to hit the golden door. Dude, the feeling of hitting your first golden door is something I'll never forget. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'll never one day.
Unreal. I think this is like so actionable, real, raw, vulnerable. Zach, what I would ask, my next question, Caleb Grondell talked about this earlier today, and I thought it was so interesting, is he talked about like nailing in his process and how this summer he felt that, yeah, I knew my process going into it. And so it was just a matter of me like trusting my process and seeing through the results to the end. When it comes to your process, Zach, why do you think, or do you think that Zach Seager's process, the way that you approach your days, the way that you attack your days, the way that you organize your thoughts regarding the day, how do you feel, if you do feel, that process is different from others?
Other salesmen or
other salesmen, other golden doors, other salesmen, other summers. Like, where do you think that your process is head and shoulders just like more efficient, better? Like, how do you think it's yielding the results that it's yielding?
Dude, I think it's funny because my process has never like been the same. It might have the same values, but every summer it's changed. Like last summer, the process was wake up, brush my teeth. Jerem will figure everything out for me. I'll just let Jerem do everything and I'll go out and sell. This summer, dude, is wake up, call Jet, figure it out with Jet. I'm the guy, right? And so I think it changes.
Do you think it's way different from others? Does it just come down to a lot of the belief and affirmations? And
selling is selling. Do we all say the same stuff? Like, I don't know if there is like a different sales process. Dude, the only difference with me and the 650K reps or the 400K reps is the self-belief and the self-talk. That's literally the only difference at all. It was awesome, dude. We went down to Lake Powell, like I said, with the elite sellers, and Ryan, I don't know how to say his last name. Backer was there. Garth, you were there, obviously. Yeah. When he talked to the fire, he said 80% of our thoughts are negative and the other 20% are positive. And I didn't believe it, dude. I was like, that's never been the case for me. It's always been the other way around. Dude, I've always thought 80% positive and 20% negative. And even the 20%, dude, I've tried to flush out. And I might have scenarios where I call Garth and I'm freaking out and I'm like, dude, this HUD sucks. I'm getting screwed. All these Indians just canceled on me, all the stuff.
Yeah.
But I immediately flush it out. I call Garth, dude, I'm going to figure it out. I promise you. And I'm still going to finish with 10K.
Yeah.
It might be 7. Dude, there was a day, same thing happened. This neighborhood sucks. Indians all just canceled on me, all the stuff. And I texted Garth. I'm like, dude, I'm still going to pull out 7 more K. And it was 8 o'clock and I pulled out 7 more K. Right. And so I think that's the only difference between elite reps and reps that are insanely good, like me and Corbin, Brock, Drew, all the like really, really, really good salesmen, is because we have this self-belief and this self-talk of, dude, you can't, like David Goggins says, dude, you can't hurt me. Does that make sense?
100%.
Yeah, and a question that I have for you too, Sigs, right? Like we preach that, right? Leaders lead from the front. Now there are some leaders, right, that I think totally make sense. Maybe they aren't as elite or they don't want it as bad, and they're still amazing leaders. That being said, Seager, right, you didn't buy into that at all, right? You sold 1.5 million. You sold more than anybody has ever sold on the doors ever. And in the meantime, leading a team that did, how much rev did you guys do as a team?
We almost did 6 mil.
Almost at 6 million as a team. Dude, talk to me about the difference in mindset that you had to have from the year previous with Jerem to this year, obviously with Jet being like your co-captain. Dude, talk to me how you were able to flip a switch, but maintain, because so many people, it's the excuse, oh, I did 400K, but I'm stepping into management next year. So like I'm not going to do that. Dude, you went from $1 million with co-team leading to being the guy with obviously their team lead and doing 50% more than the $1 million the previous summer. Dude, what was the mindset shift that had to happen for you to be able to do both?
First off, shout out to Jet.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Dog.
We've been best friends since I was like 10 and he helped manage the team with me.
Yeah.
For sure doesn't get enough credit.
No.
But as far as like the mindset shift goes, dude, it was all on me and I craved it. Like I totally ate it up and I totally understood like, dude, the team depends on me. Like they depend on me showing up every day. They depend on me doing the one-on-ones. Yeah, I lost tons of sleep and it for sure like might have hurt like not my relationship with my wife, but it's like, dude, I had to sacrifice things in the summer. Yeah. Right? It's like instead of being with my wife from 5 p.m. till midnight, it's like, dude, I'm only with my wife for 1 hour every day. That's like a pretty big sacrifice, right? And so as far as that goes, I understood that these guys, dude, they signed up for an experience and they were depending on me. And so I understood, dude, if I didn't give them everything I possibly could, they wouldn't come back and work with me. And so that's like my promise for every rep that wants to work with me. It's like, dude, I will give everything because this isn't my little college thing anymore, dude. Like it's not an internship for me, dude. This is it. Like this is my career. And so like for any rep that works with me, dude, it's like I will go above and beyond expectations to hopefully, dude, make sure you have the best earnings possible and the best experience I possibly can deliver for you.
Dude, I love that. And I think a lot of the reps as we get older as a company and or just in the space that we're in, a lot of people are married, right? When did you get married? It was March 3rd. March 3rd. So you had a month with your sweet wife and then you were on the doors. Dude, talk us through and shout out to Kennedy. Amazing human. She's your number one fan. I know that. I'm a close second. Dude, talk me through the conversation that you've had to have with her going into with such a lofty goal, being a team lead, being a regional manager. How did that conversation go? And what advice would you give to guys that are married that are going to need to have that conversation with their wife to say, hey, I might not see you enough? To kind of walk me through that.
Dude, I'm blessed. Like I said, when I was writing down the manifestation, right? I wrote down somebody who supports my goals and supports me working hard. And Kennedy is totally that way. But with that being said, obviously it's like, she's not going to support me if I'm working 9 to 9 every single day and I never get to see her.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think the biggest thing is just setting that expectation with your spouse going into the summer. Look, it's going to be hard. It's going to be different, but I promise you, no matter what, I will spend 1 hour with you every single day. And it just goes like miles and miles and miles when she sees like how hard you're working and she sees like, dude, you have 10 missed phone calls. You have 100 missed text messages. You, have these guys wanting to train with you at night, all the stuff, and you set that aside and you turn off your phone and you put it on airplane mode and you're with her for 1 hour. Dude, that just is, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if that answered the question.
No, 100%. Right. And that's the conversation that you just need to have. Was it tough for her or did she was she super supportive in it all?
Way tough, dude. I think it's the first summer for any wife is going to be.
Yeah. You don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah. It's like, she always said she was way independent and then she went out there and she's like, wow, like this is crazy. Right there in the middle of nowhere, like North New Jersey in, where we were living, Randolph, New Jersey. Mm-hmm. Like there's nothing to do. But it's like, dude, she's a warrior. She totally supported me. She loved that I was grinding. And now, dude, it's like we spend tons of time together. Like we went to Miami. We're going to Lake Powell this weekend. We have all these fun trips planned with Grit on our own. And so it's totally worth the sacrifice in our eyes. And then we get way clear on the goals and what we want. Right. And so if me and Kennedy want XYZ in 5 years, well, dude, we understand there has to be some sacrifice.
I love it. Seager, what whether it's like building a life or building the grit, like what excites you the most about when you look at what's in store for the next 3-5 years? What excites you?
Dude, everything. Like, my wife excites me. The life we've created is awesome. The grit, dude, it's funny. I told my wife this last night. Dude, it's like one of my biggest passions. Like, working is now one of my hobbies, where I never thought that would be the case when I was working at backcountry.com in their warehouse and scanning shit and throwing it on the conveyor belt. Like, I'm like, dude, how do guys work more than 40 hours a week? That's what I thought in my head. And now, dude, it's like the recruiting season. And she's like, she's like, you're still gone all day. Where I think a lot of guys think this is a summer job and you come home and you're just chilling the whole off season, where it's just not.
Yeah.
And so that's where it's going, I guess.
No, where do you see yourself? Say you're 5 years. You can paint the picture. What's on your vision board for the 5 years?
Yeah, dude, like I said, it's way clear. The idea, right, is a mountain house, modern, up in Heber, Midway. We would love to have 3 kids, not in 5 years. We won't have kids for 5 years.
Yeah, you tell.
But yeah, mountain house. We'd love to have a helicopter. We talked about this, boat, all the stuff you could ever ask for.
It's all there.
Yeah.
And you're well on your way.
Yeah.
No, so we've asked this to a lot of the Golden Door questions, and I think this Golden Door winners, and I think we can even end with this, dude. I'm just curious, to Zach Seager, what is grit? Not the company, the word. What does grit mean to you?
Just grinding, dude. That's grit.
Double click on that, as Easton says. Expound on that a little bit. What grinding, grit? What break that down for us,
dude. You can see it every single day. The guys who work the hardest earn the most money in any single job. And so as far as like grit goes, dude, it's being willing to sacrifice things for your future goals. That's grit. Like, grit is willing to go out and work 12-hour days every single day for 5 months and not complain, because you're willing to do that to hit the future goals that you have.
Yeah.
I love it.
Sacrifice.
I love it. A man who is about it. A man who is a man of action. A man who would much rather do it than talk about it. Seager, we are so lucky to have your example. We're lucky to work with you. We're lucky just to be around the kind of positivity that you bring. The question that I want to like totally wrap up with, I know we asked the grit question already, but one that we haven't asked in a while, and I'd be interested to see how your answer has changed, because I believe we asked this at the podcast in the North Star building. Advice to any rookie: never knocked a door before. From the GOAT, you've got 30 seconds to tell a rookie how they can get the absolute most out of not only their first summer, but life.
That's a good question, dude. 30 seconds, dude. And they're working at grit, or they're just in door to door, or
Door to door.
Yeah.
dude, you go out and you grind every day. There really is no secret to success. Like, dude, the thing I think I'm most proud about is like when I see a guy and he goes out, dude, he's not skilled at all, and he goes out, works his ass off. He does 80K. Dude, I'm way more proud of that guy than the guy who goes out and does 400K and barely works. Just because, dude, that is awesome. And you learn so much by doing that day in and day out, and you become a man through that process of grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding. And at the end, dude, it's like, oh, wow, look at where I've come, right? Like, I look back 3 years to the North Star building, dude, I'm a completely different person than I was 3 years ago because of the grind, right? And the grit that you have to put in order to hit the goals that you want.
And do something super interesting, right? That those two people, I've never had this like this light bulb moment. Dude, the guys that go out and casually do 200K every year, what do they do every year? 200K. Dude, the guys, and these are some of the guys we sat down with, right? Like Nate Van Dyke's a perfect example. I bet his 2018 summer at Green X when he did 100K, I bet he grinded for that 100K. And what did that mean the next year? 115. What did that mean the next year? 250. What did that mean the next year? 435. Dude, the guys that grind and leave it all on the table, they get better every single year. Where the guys that, coast into 200K, 300K, shoot, even 400K, some of the guys coast into those numbers And they just do that every single year. But it's like, then we look at your track record, 239K, 795K, a million, 1.5 million. It's like, dude, what's changed? You got better every single year, but you've also just grinded harder every single year, right? And it's like, you just don't leave anything on the table. And I think that advice, Seager, to the rookie, don't get complacent. Grind, go day in and day out, and the respect that you'll earn from everybody in the space, whether you do 50K, 100K, 200K, 300, dude, that's what kind of just keeps you going. That's the fire that's lit underneath you, that year in, year out, you'll just keep getting better. And before you know it, you'll be sitting in this chair next to Zach Seager, who just ripped 1.5. Yeah, it's amazing, dude.
Unreal. Seager, anything to leave the people?
No, dude. I'm just thankful, dude. I'm thankful for Garth for recruiting me, thankful for John, and all the time and effort he's given me. I would just say I'm thankful for Ben and all of his training efforts out in Waco, sleeping in the same bed as me.
Yep.
Sharing a Harambe blanket. Dude, I could go on and on and on and on. Probably the coolest thing ever, we did our exit interviews, and Emma was asking me about Drew, and I totally just got so emotional and started bawling just because of the impact you guys have had on me. So I'm thankful for everything you guys have done for me.
It's amazing.
Love you,
and that's what it's all about. We love you, man. As for
Love
this
you guys.
episode of The Landing Pad, we out.